What's up, children of the sun? This is your spiritual nomad, Montre Bible. Yes, that's my real last name. Giving my 2 cents on yet another video that has come across my news feed. And I don't know if you guys saw this movie, Leave the World Behind. It's on Netflix. Okay, first of all, I hated this movie with a passion, but everyone's still talking about it. And it's that type of movie where it's just doing too much. It's doing too much. And I'll give you my 2 cents on the movie at the end of this. But first, let's see what Homeboy is talking about. This is I guess the Black Magic channel. Once again, more spiritual stuff. I don't know. Let's see.
Hard right now.
How about that?
Yeah,
And
come on. Dance for me,
and what is this? Oh yeah, this is when they were dancing. They were having a moment.
And so here we go again. Welcome to the Dark Times channel.
Dark time.
And in this particular video, I want to take a second to chime in on the new Netflix movie, Leave the World Behind.
See, this is why I much prefer life before the internet. Because we would have spoken on the phone, you would have recognized my voice and known that this is our house.
This is your house?
Yeah.
And so nothing in a film is put there by accident. From the wardrobe, from the location, everything is placed in the film for a particular reason.
And that's why people are saying it's good. I get it. Everything had a reason, but it was so for me, it was so obvious that they were trying to make a statement without making a statement. They were trying to be, let's make Easter eggs here and there. Let's make a statement here. And I don't know. It was just so emotionally provoking.
And so whether or not the audience picks up on it or not is inconsequential. Because whether or not they know it or not, their subconscious mind is going to pick up on any and everything.
Yeah.
And the reoccurring themes in a lot of these post-apocalyptic movies is that it's every man and woman for themselves.
I can barely do anything without my cell phone and my GPS. I am a useless man.
That was another part that was just in your face, like technology and how people use technology and what are people without technology.
And so a good indication of how people are going to act and how people are going to behave in the future is by paying attention to what they listen to and by paying attention to what they watch. And so that in and of itself is nothing new. When it comes to a lot of these apocalyptic movies, we see the same reoccurring thing. But in this particular movie, from the beginning, I noticed that there was a racial element in this film. And there was sort of this racial duplicity that was going on within this film. And so like most apocalyptic movies are about survival, this one is no different. But the only difference in this particular film is that this particular film is dealing with genetic survival. And in fact, one of the things that sets this film apart from other apocalyptic films is that in most apocalyptic films, the focus is going to be what's going on in the world. How are people reacting? What people are doing to survive? But if you notice in this particular film, the focus is what's going on inside the house. And it has a lot more to do with the relationships inside the house. And in fact, in most of the film, the only way that we really know that there's something weird going on in the outside world and possible calamity and disaster going on in the outside world is because of the animals. You see a reoccurring theme of the animals showing.
The deer. Okay, the deer. Animals, flamingos, like the animals are just acting weird. They're just staring at everybody. I'm like, okay, what's up with the animals? And of course, they never tell us why.
Went up and acting in strange ways.
The flamingos.
Those are flamingos.
They just decided to come on. This thing went on for like
director's way of letting the audience know that there's something strange going on in the outside world. Because apart from that, like I said, the main focus was what's going on inside the house. and the relationships that were going on inside the house. When we start to look at the countries with the most fertile population of women, it's not even close. The countries with a majority so called black population are about 5 times more fertile than countries with a non majority black population. And so we have
There's
major
something to be
fertility
said about
issues
that.
that's going on in countries with non majority black populations. There's no question about it, no doubt about it. And so, as I said earlier, this is not just a film about
And quiet as it's kept, in America, the Caucasian population, I'm going to watch my words, seems to be very self-destructive. If just my observation, and y'all can disagree if you want to, but it seems to me that the Caucasian Americans seem to be they don't like themselves. And they seem to be really eating themselves. They're destroying themselves. And I don't know why. Is it a self-hatred? I don't know. Or guilt, karma. I they are eating themselves.
survival and disaster, but a film about engineering so called white men to go after young, fertile black women. If you notice that throughout this film, the film went out of their way to make sure that both of the white men inside of the house had somewhat of a lustful spirit for the only black female character in the entire movie. And then also, the film could have easily given the black male character a wife. I think that would have made for better dialogue and even better drama when you consider the actress Julia Roberts and her character. But they didn't do that. They chose not to.
He had a wife. She was on an airplane, not there.
For not so obvious reasons. And there was another part in this movie in which I noticed the actress Julia Roberts' character was alone inside the house with the black male.
Where was her husband? Like
I am
I
starting
can't.
to like you.
And they were drinking and dancing. All the while Ethan Hawke's character, Julia Roberts' husband in this movie, was outside alone, smoking and drinking with a young black female.
Which, if I had a daughter, I would. Unacceptable. You ain't gonna be outside with just. Where are you? We're in the middle of an apocalypse. I need to know where my daughter. Homeboy, even homeboy has a daughter, a young one, and no one. I understand what they were trying to do, but at some point you gotta be like, where are my kids at? I need to be able to see everybody. If I can't see you, there's a problem. And his daughter's outside. This white dude, his daughter, quite missing in action. No one even we just everyone just forgot about her. Really, they did. I forgot about her, but she was doing her own thing.
I mean, that's what I look like to
That's
you? I look
how
like that kind of
quiet
guy?
she was.
You look like the kind of guy to whom things come easy, especially women.
And at the same time, the son of Julia Roberts and Ethan Hawke was inside beating off to her, getting off. And that was very telling. That was a very telling scene. And on a subconscious level, on a very animalistic level in which we all operate at any given time, that's letting the audience know that in a situation like this, that the white men need to sexually sacrifice the older, non-fertile white women to the black men, while the white men, both young and old, both go after the young black fertile women with
Mm.
no fertility clinics around and with nothing in place to help ensure reproduction and procreation. This will be the only way for them to procreate successfully. And at the heart of it, this is what this film is really about.
Eh, Side note, and this, have you noticed that like when you do see interracial couples, black and white couples, which I have no problem with, you know, it's always a white Caucasian dude with a black female. It's never like a Latino dude, black female, or black male. Well, sometimes you see a black male, but it'll be with a Latino woman. Uh, I don't know. I see the majority commercialized. of commercial. I see the majority mainstream commercial videos or movies I see with interracial couples are usually Caucasian men with Black American women.
And a lot of you guys are aware enough and old enough to remember,
See,
I would say probably back in the early to mid 90s, there was a push in a lot of the major motion pictures to make sure that you never saw two black couples together. I'm not talking about in a Tyler Perry movie or
I'm
a
not
Spike
making it
Lee
up.
movie, but in the major motion pictures in Hollywood, there was a clear push to make sure that you
There,
never
there's the Black and Latino. See, so if it's gonna be an interracial couple with a black man, it's gonna be a Latina. It's not gonna be a white girl. I mean, rarely is it a white girl where it's a very romance movie or anything of that nature. I haven't seen a very good romance or romantic comedy with a black male and a white female. Not a good one. There might be one out there, but it might suck.
saw black love and black couples together. And it's even more intensified as of late. In every movie and every commercial, if there's a black man or a black woman involved, you can almost be certain that they're not going to have a black male or a black female counterpart. And so, at the heart of this film,
Because they're trying to get a white audience. That's the reality. If they want to get a white audience, they have to put a white person in there somewhere. Even Black Panther, the first Black Panther had at least one white character. If you put an all black cast, you're gonna have an all black audience. I don't. I mean, I don't. I don't think there's a problem with that, especially when you're talking about marketing. But it's how you do it.
that's what this film was actually about. It
Because
was about sexual and genetic survival.
black people won't go see a movie unless there is a black character. Well, I won't say that. I go watch movies that are no black people in it, but everyone's gonna go watch a movie with them in it. People will watch movies that they're not in it. I mean, Color Purple's coming out. That is all black cast. Will white people go see it? Yeah, because it's a theater. It's a theater movie. Um, all right, so that's neither here or there. Why didn't I like this movie? He brought it into the whole racial aspect of it. That's not why I didn't like it. The racial stuff is not why I didn't like this movie. Even though that was one of the many things. And I'm just gonna assume the guy who made this video is black because he's got the black resonance. I don't know what that is, black resonance. It's you sound black. He could be a white guy with a very deep voice. Uh black resonance, that's what I like to call it. Where I can kind of tell. Um they throw so much stuff at you with this movie and don't give you any resolution, any answers. It's just you can make of this movie whatever you want. And I don't like that. I don't like it when because black people are going to get a whole different movie than white people will. For white people, it might be white guilt. It may be an apocalyptic. It is an apocalyptic movie. It's the end of the world. They throw everything at you. Spoilers. Everything happens. Internet falls down. Animals go crazy. War. It is a. It is a. It's a poke at doomsayers, people who are preparing for the worst. It is a. It is a poke at the South. Uh, Southerners. Conspiracy theorists. Disease, plague, insurrection. They throw everything at you with this movie and say basically, here's the end of the world. Everything is happening. Some people are saying This is predictive programming. Nah, this is a bunch of people. Well, because it's made by the Obamas and stuff like that. It is it is it is emotional manipulation, and I'm a Pisces. I don't like to be emotionally manipulated. I feel like a narcissist wrote this movie just to it's a gaslighting movie. That's what this is because it throws a bunch of stuff at you to get a reaction and it doesn't give you any answers and it just ends. It basically just ends. Yes, there's a lot of Easter eggs. Yes, is it saying this? Is it saying that? It's giving a lot of stuff. And you can get whatever you want out of it because they basically put everything in it and they put little clues here and there and there and there and there. What was the one thing? They changed the pictures in the house over and over and over again. W- I guess they want to tell us something. They want to give us a clue to something. It's so obvious. When it becomes an obvious Easter egg, it's not an Easter egg. When everyone's wearing blue, it's not an Easter egg. Blue means security. So when they start wearing red, it's not. Oh, the black man is wearing black and white at the beginning of the movie, and then he wears brown throughout the movie. This is not an Easter egg. You're telling me basically he's trying to fit in. Now he's feeling more comfortable with his brown. I don't know. There's a lot of quiet messaging going on here. And yes, it is trying to talk to your subconscious on how you feel and stuff. You know the thing that I felt with this movie after it ended? Dissatisfaction. And maybe they wanted you to feel that way. I would say watch it bootleg. Don't add to this movie's algorithm and making it something that it's not, because it's not. It's nothing. It's a bunch of nothing. They don't even talk. I'm not gonna let this movie even upset me today because that's how upset I am about this movie.